everything's fine. Okay, great. Thanks. Got it.
Oh, so cool.
Hi, James.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good. You look well. Are you ready to learn some English?
No.
Me neither. Okay. So, what we're going to do is start off with some easy questions,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll see how you get on, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, then. So, the first question is, if I can get to the top of the question. There we go. Right, so first we are going to talk about your studies.
Mm-hmm.
So, James, are you a full-time student at the moment?
Yes.
Great. Where do you study?
At ACSP school.
And how long have you studied there?
11 years.
Wow, that's a long time. Is your school far from your home?
Not quite, but yeah, it's like in the middle.
How long does it take you to get to your school from home?
Like 5 to 10 minutes, I think.
Oh, great. In the car?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Good. Try your best to answer the question, but also to add some details or descriptions. Okay? So, do you have a job?
No, because I'm not
You're-
like my age is not enough for the job, maybe.
You're not old enough to have a job.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, great. So we had a couple of questions about jobs, but we can probably get rid of them. So, what job did you want to do growing up?
Maybe I want to be an engineer.
Oh,
Cause yeah.
why?
Like engineer is like a popular job in Thailand that everyone wants to be.
Okay, great. So you see how that was a better answer than just I want to be an engineer. You can say I want to be an engineer because, and you give me a couple of reasons. Okay. That just shows off your English skills that little bit more, and maybe it will get you some more points. Your grammar is great, it's really good. So
Thank you.
keep up the hard work. If you couldn't be an engineer, what other job might you like to do?
I think I would be a chef, I guess, because I like
Cool.
food.
You like food? Me too. You like to cook at home?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes. All right then. Do you often eat out in restaurants, cafes, etc.?
not often, but like once a week or 2 times, twice.
How do you choose where you want to go when you eat out?
Like the best restaurant, like in the area,
How?
like the food quality or the food that I like.
But how do you choose that? Do you look on the internet? Do you take recommendations from friends?
Sometimes from
advert?
friends, but mostly from my family.
Great. So you see the difference between that. So I think the question that you answered was why might you choose a restaurant? And you said because of the good food quality or because it's a good place to eat. But the question was, how do you choose? And so that's why I was asking you about if you look on the internet or if your friends tell you that it's good. Okay? So it's important to pay attention when answering a question. Important words used in the question like how, or why, or what, or when. All right, so let me put that down in the chat, and you can write that down for me. That's important. So, how, what, why, and where. Can you see that in the chat?
No.
On the left of your screen, I think there is the speech bubble.
Oh, okay.
You see that? So this is the best place for me to write down word suggestions or show you how to spell something. So if you have a piece of paper, write this down for me. Okay? Because half of answering a question is making sure you understand the question. So it is important to make sure you can identify which type of question it is, whether it's how, what, why, or where. Okay? So let's move back to the questions. And we are going to ask about fast food. So, are there fast food restaurants such as burger bars that are popular in your country?
Yes.
So if an answer is just a yes or no answer, then it's important probably to add to that. So you could say yes, such as there is a popular burger bar I like to visit called this one. Or you may have heard of this one. So try and give me 2 examples of fast food restaurants in your country.
The fast food restaurant, like for example, I guess Burger King and McDonald's.
Great. So that's better than just yes, right? You can say yes. There are fast food restaurants such as Burger King and McDonald's. Or you could always say you may have heard of some restaurants that we have here in Thailand called Burger King and McDonald's. And you see that's a full sentence with description, and it really shows off your language skills and your vocabulary. Oh, so we asked this question earlier actually. So I'm going to ask you to elaborate and to build on this one. So, do you ever cook for yourself or for other people?
Yeah, I've cooked for like my dad and my mom sometimes.
you could probably elaborate on that and tell me what your favorite thing is to cook.
Okay, so my favorite thing to cook for my dad and my mom, it's like Thai food called pad kapow, I think.
Mm. That sounds very good.
Uh-huh.
Great. That's fantastic. So I enjoy cooking for myself, for my mom and dad. My favorite thing to cook for them is etc. etc. Right? Because it's important. This is a speaking exam. So guess what? You have to speak. All right then. So, can you recommend a restaurant in your hometown?
The restaurant that I like is it's called Sompong, where like they serve like seafood or like normal Thai food, yeah, etc.
What is your favorite food?
My favorite food there is like fried fish with some sauce.
That sounds really good. Okay, great. Do you see how I'm working with you to build on your answers and add things to them and make them more interesting, and it's a good way to show off your skills and to get those extra points? Okay, so what we're going to do next is have a speaking part where I ask you a couple of questions, and I'm going to give you 1 minute to plan what you're going to say, and then I'm going to give you 1 minute to tell me the answer. Okay, so the part is describe a film you enjoyed. Write this down. You should say the name of the film, where it was, well, where the film was made, sorry. What kind of film it was. And what happened in the film. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to describe a film you enjoyed. You need to say the name of the film, where the film was made, what kind of film it was, and what happened in the film. All right, so I am going to start a timer. Just write down a few keywords so that you can remember what points you're going to cover with me. All right, and then so you need to cover those 4 points when you're answering this question. All right, so I'm going to give you 1 minute, and then I'll ask you to stop and tell me your answer. Okay,
Okay.
You ready? Great. And your minute starts now. Start planning. Okay, you have half a minute left. If you'd like a little bit more time, just let me know and I'll give you another minute.
All right.
Okay, are you ready to answer the question or would you like some more time?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, great. So I'm going to ask you the question one more time. Describe a film you enjoyed. You should say the name of the film, where the film was made, what kind of film it was, and what happened in the film. All right, so when you're ready, please begin.
Okay, can I begin in okay.
Yeah, as soon as you're ready.
So, my movie that I chose is called Trolls. It's a cartoon, like the cute cartoon with little guy, and it's like funny and mixed with music in the movie also. And the place that's taken is like magical forest, I think. And like the overall story is like the trolls are, I don't know, there's bad guy, but I don't know the name, but they're like a giant guy that that they believe that if they eat the trolls, they'll be happy again.
Ah, I watched that too. It's set in a magical land, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
That was great. So you explained all of them. You were very clear, which was good. You took your time. So you told me the name of it. So the name of it was Trolls. Where it was made. So I guess you could have said it's an American film, right? The film was like a kid's cartoon, so you said that. And you told me what happened too, which is great. That was a really good job. And also, don't be afraid to add your own kind of opinions and experiences in these answers as well. You can, even though I didn't ask you, you could say what you enjoyed about it, or you could tell me about a funny part that was good. Or you could say, oh yeah, I went to see it with my sister and we really enjoyed it, But your answer was great. I'm just thinking of ways that you can improve it even more than it's already, because it's already good. But of course, there's always room for improvement. All right, so do you often go to the cinema?
Yes, with my mom.
That's nice. And do you think watching films in English is useful?
Yes, because you can learn more English as you watch the film.
Great.
Not just.
I like how you said yes, and then you gave me a reason. So you're learning quickly. Okay, so speaking part 3. See, you're doing so well. We're moving through this really quickly. Speaking of part 3. So is going to the cinema more or less popular than it used to be? Is going to the cinema more or less popular than it used to be? What do you think?
I think the cinema is like more popular now, from 5 years ago. Cinema is popular now because there's many kind of theater, like the one that you have a bed or a couch you can sleep in. Yeah, I think we're more popular.
Yeah, that was a great answer. You gave me your opinion too. You said, I think. So that's good because that's what the question said. It says, what do you think? That, yeah, I think it is more popular now than it used to be 5 years ago. So you told me a time frame too, which is a good extra bit of detail. Because it's more comfortable and it's more social. So good job. What are the most popular types of film among people you know?
People I know, I think the one that I don't like, it's like horror film, like the scary film. And like the most I like is like action or adventure.
Okay, great. How about your friends? What do they like the most?
I think most of my friends, they also don't like the scary movie. Also, And I think some of them like the romantic movie or action.
Okay, great. Do you think there is too much violence in films?
Sometimes because like some movies they put like too much like what's it called like fighting into the story and make it not fun. I think like they should put like not too much in the story. It could be more fun.
Great. That's a really good answer. I like how you gave me a few examples and you thought of what they could do instead, which is an extra part of the answer, which was great. Good job. Should there be more films made for children?
Yeah, of course, because like children can like learn quicker than they already have.
Great. So do films influence other things, like fashion, for example?
Yeah, I think so because like one of the movies they might give like they might wear like a very cool shirt and when everyone else watch that film they start wearing that outfit everywhere.
Fab. Could you think of other things that it could influence?
Maybe maybe how people like say to each other. Maybe people like say that like what they say in the film and then they say in real life.
Great. Yeah, different sayings and phrases and slang, right?
Yeah.
When you get kids watching movies that are a little too old for them and then they say bad words at school. Yeah. Or even maybe like sport or something, right? So you see a Jackie Chan film and all of a sudden you want to do kung fu. Or you watch a movie where there are guys playing American football. So you're like, yeah, I want to be a football player, right? Lots and lots of different influences. So what I like with that question as well is that it's asking for lots of examples. So you could actually start the answer with, yes, films influence many things. With fashion, and as you said, you were explaining, you were saying someone may wear a t-shirt, that's really cool. And so the audience may go out and buy that t-shirt. And also, maybe think of another example. And maybe you could also, talk about things like product placement. Have you ever heard of that?
What is it called? Product placement?
Yeah, so for example, like, there might be a movie where the main guy is drinking a can of Coca-Cola. Or there's a lady wearing a Nike t-shirt, Nike. And so the audience want to go out and buy that. So actually there are companies that work with the film industry.
Yeah.
So that's a great question because that gives you lots and lots of ideas or things to talk about with that one. You could talk about almost anything because it's already given you an example. So cover that example and maybe think of one more example like you did. So good job. 2 more questions and then that's it for today, okay?
Okay.
Do you think the media invade the privacy of film stars or put them under too much pressure?
Yeah, I think a lot of maybe the celebrities they like get the what's it called paparazzi. Yeah, and I think they don't get enough like privacy.
Great. Yeah, I like how you use different words to what was used in the question as well, showing that you understood, film star and talking about privacy, that you came up with an example about the paparazzi, and you said celebrities. That was a good answer, a good strong answer. All right then. So, do you think films will continue to be an important form of entertainment, and why?
Yes, I think film will be like, and like the most important entertainment because the film like they're they're from like there's like old school stuff like the movie from since like maybe 50 years ago, and I think it will keep going and over again. And the movie will be like better from now, I think.
Great. So it's just going to get better and better, right?
Uh-huh.
Like in Star Wars, when you watch like the first ever Star Wars film, and Yoda is a puppet. And
Yes.
now it's all CGI, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the technology will improve the film industry, I think, make things more realistic.
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, it was great chatting to you. You did very well.
Yeah, me too.
Keep talking clearly and take your time. Try not to use words like. Think of other connectives like and, although, however, also. But apart from that, you're doing great. Keep working hard, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay, you too. Goodbye.
Bye.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Are you okay?
Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
Okay.
Great. What's your name?
My name is Yuki.
Yuki,
UKI.
nice to meet you. My name is Emily.
Okay.
So let's start with some questions. So, let me get up. Let's talk about your studies. So, are you a full-time student at the moment?
What mean?
Are you a student?
Yes.
Great. So, full-time
full-time.
student.
อะไรคือ full time
Yeah. Great. Where do you study?
Study at Assumption สุดปราการ
Great. And how long have you studied there?
12 year
12 years. Wow. Okay, so more than 1 year is years with an S on the end. So you need to pronounce your is your school far from your home?
Yes. They have 75 kilo to home to school.
How long does it take you to get to school, sorry?
25 kilometers.
Wow. How long does that take you? In the car?
car.
Yeah, you drive. How long does it take to drive to school?
25 kilometers.
So, do you travel at 25 kilometers an hour?
No. I don't know. My father take me to school. Drive me to school.
Does it take 10 minutes? Does it take 30 minutes?
1.5 hour.
Wow. That's a long time.
Yes.
Great. So you see the question I was asking you was how long? That explains the duration of something. So how long is dinner going to cook for? how long is it going to take you to get to school?
Okay.
Right. So what job would you like to have in the future?
I want to be a pharmacist.
Cool. Why?
My father and mother are pharmacists. When I was young, they teach me to learn how.
Great. So you could say, I already have the skills to be a pharmacist, and it's something that I enjoy. My mom and my dad taught me when I was younger. Great. You're being very clear. You're taking your time, which I like. I can understand everything. Good job. All right. So if you could not be a pharmacist, what different job would you like to do?
If I am pharmacist, I want to be a doctor or teacher.
Why?
Because
Why would you like to be a doctor?
I want to teach students subject science.
So would you say that you would like to be a doctor because you enjoy helping people?
Yes.
Great. And maybe you would like to be a teacher because you like working with kids? Great. So that's what you need to do. So you need to be able to describe, you need to answer the question and then also add on to that. So add a description or a reason. You could say, I like to do this because, and give me some examples. All right. It just gives you more points. It means that you're going to do better with the answer. And it shows the examiner that how good you are with the language and how much you understood the question. So let's talk about food and restaurants. Do you often eat out in restaurants and cafes?
Again, please. I don't understand.
That's okay. So I will break down this question. So, do you eat out in restaurants? You know what a restaurant is? So a restaurant is a place where you go and eat out, and you go and eat food. Okay? So you might go to a cafe. You might, if you go to, I'm gonna think of different places that you could go. Shabue? No, probably not. Burger King? McDonald's? Right? Restaurants. Those are fast food. Those are fast food restaurants.
Okay.
You might go out to a restaurant to eat pasta, noodles. Okay. So, and the word often means how regularly do you go? Do you go once a week? Do you go every day? So I'm going to write this down for you.
I'll go.
Look in the chat. You see that on your screen? I've put here the question. And the important word here is how often. So the first one
is every day. That's when I am go to eat restaurant every day.
Wow. So you don't eat dinner at home?
when I have a free time at home let's go Lotus that is a name of store
Okay, let's try this answer one more time. First, I'm going to show you that there are a few different points of the question. Okay, so first, basically, the question is asking if you go and eat out in restaurants. So first, you need to say, "Yep, I eat out in restaurants," and then you need to say how often you eat there. So you could say, "Yes, I go and eat out in restaurants once a week with my mom and dad."
Okay.
And that would be a good. So you notice how I added an extra description. You say with my mom and dad. So try that answer one more time for me. Do you often eat out in restaurants, cafes?
Is rather long every day with my father and mother.
Great. And also, equally, if you don't go out to eat in restaurants very often, you could say, no, I don't often eat out in restaurants. I like to eat meals at home. So you see how there are lots of different ways you can answer that question? Okay, great. That's a difficult one, so thank you for your patience with that. So this one is, how do you choose where to eat out? How do you choose where you want to eat out? Do you look online? Do your friends tell you about good places to eat? Do your mom and dad choose?
I will go to eat out with my friends.
Great. But how do you choose which one you want to go to? How do you choose whether you go to McDonald's or Burger King?
There is not have a fast food.
Say that again. Can you repeat that answer?
That place should not have a fast food.
Mm-hmm. The question is, how do you choose? So I'll give you an example. So here in England, there are restaurants like Pizza Hut and Cafe Rouge. If I want to choose where to eat out, I will first decide what kind of food I would like to eat. So I will look online at the menu. And if I would like to eat pizza, then I will choose the restaurant that does pizza.
I like to eat a buffet.
You like to eat a muffin?
Buffet.
Buffet. Oh, yeah. I like buffets too. Great. So my answer to that question was, I choose where to eat by looking online at the menu. So the question was, how do you choose where to eat? You understand that?
Yes.
Okay, great. So how might you choose whether you would like to go to a buffet or if you would like to go somewhere else? How do you choose?
So go to buffet and McDonald's.
Mm-hmm. So maybe you might talk to your friends and see what they would like to eat too. And you decide together. So that would be how you choose. You say, I choose where to eat out by talking to my friends, and we decide together where we would like to eat.
I go to my friends and
Yeah.
I talk about to choose it out and I go to buffet.
Great. So you see how we answered that question together? So the question was how. So it asked you to describe something. All right. So let's move on to the next question. Are fast food restaurants like burger bars popular in Thailand? Are fast food restaurants popular in Thailand?
Yes, it's popular in Thailand such as
You're doing great. Keep going.
Such as KFC, that's in the name. Or
Right.
McDonald's.
Keep going. Good.
That is very popular in Thailand because it have a few time to eat and keep to go to work with adult.
Try your best to be clear with pronouncing your words. That last part I didn't quite understand. Could you say that again? So you said fast foods restaurants are popular in Thailand, such as KFC, because
they when it have a few time and it didn't have more time to eat.
Great.
They can.
So you're saying that it doesn't take long to cook, and so when you're in a rush or when you're busy, you can eat quickly?
Yes.
Great. You know what? I really liked that answer. Do you know why?
Why?
Because you did not just answer the question, you also described and added on more to the answer, which is exactly what I need. So you said, yes, fast food restaurants are popular in Thailand. So already you answered the question. And then what was great is that you gave me examples. So you said, such as KFC. And then you gave me a reason and you said, because. So that was a really, really good answer. Good job. I'm really pleased with that. You added 3 points to that answer. And that's what I expect from you with all of these questions. Okay? Good job. So do you ever cook for yourself or for other people?
Sometimes my father and mother didn't stay at home. I will cook myself.
Great. Do you sometimes cook for your mom and dad?
Sometimes.
What do you like to cook for them?
Tom yum. Tom yum is a name of food popular in Thailand.
Great. I really like that. So I had to ask you a couple of questions to push you to answer it more. But you got there in the end when you said, you know, sometimes when my mom and dad aren't there, I will cook for myself. And sometimes I will cook for my mom and dad. And my favorite dish to cook at home. And then you gave me an example. And then you described the meal, which was really impressive. So good job. One more question for this section. Can you recommend a restaurant in your hometown?
What's the mean of recommend?
So, if I tell you, wow, this restaurant is really good, the food is great, you should go there, that is a recommendation. So I recommend that you go and eat at KFC. Okay? So
Okay.
can you recommend a restaurant in your hometown to me? And why
I
would you like it? Why is it good?
I think later on that I want to recommend is yam sat is a name of restaurant. It's very popular in Thailand.
Great. Why is it popular?
Is for of Eastern Thailand.
Great. And why is it so popular? Is the food really good? Is the service? Is the good waiter? Is it entertaining? Is it fun?
The food is delicious and have a good service.
Great. I like that your use of the word delicious. That's a good descriptive word. So you see how that answer had a couple of different points. So you said, I would recommend this place in my hometown. You said it was in, you told me where it was as well, which was great. And you also told me why it's so good. So that was great. Good job. We finished the first section. You're doing really well. Just make sure you take your time. So be nice and slow. Make sure that you form your words clearly and that I can understand every word that you use. Okay? There is no rush. And we are going to move on to speaking part 2. Okay? So in this section, I'm going to ask you to answer a question. The question is, describe a film you enjoyed. You should say the name of the film, where it was made, what kind of film it was, and what happened in the film. So I'm going to give you 1 minute to write out a plan of what you're going to say. And it's important that you include these points. So I'm going to ask you the question again, just so that you can write it down. So describe a film you enjoyed. You should say the name of the film, where it was made. So is it American? Was it made in Britain? Is it a Thai film? Is it French? Where was it made? That was that question. What kind of film it was? Was it a horror? Was it a romantic comedy? And what happened in the film? Tell me a little bit about the story in the film.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to set a timer for 1 minute. And in that time, I just want you to write out a plan. Write down a few points that you're going to talk to me about. And then once the 1 minute is over, I'm going to ask you to tell me about this film, okay? So describe a film you enjoyed. Say the name of the film, where the film was made, what kind of film it was, and what happened in the film. So your minute starts now. Okay, so that was the timer. Do you think you're ready to answer the question, or would you like some more time?
Yes.
You like some more time?
No.
You're ready?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm going to ask you the question, and then you can answer it for me, okay? So describe a film you enjoyed. You should say the name of the film and where it was made, what kind of film it was, and what happened in the film.
The name of film that I like is Iron Man. I think I don't know where it's made, but I think America. And kind of film is a fight movie. And in the film have their own team that have agreements of that teams, so they fight together. Sometimes have sometimes have terrorists, and they will fight with it. I will enjoy with it because I love to watch fight movie. Yes.
Great. Good job. Okay, so I like how... Well, firstly, I like Iron Man too, so that's a good choice of film. And you told me about the name of it, and I like how you were not sure where it was made, but you guessed, so you still gave me an answer for that, which is great. And I think you're right. I think it was made in America because the characters are American and the actors are American, right?
Yes.
And it's in English. You told me about what kind of film it was. You told me that it was a fight film. So another word for that could be an action movie or an action film.
Action movie.
And you told me about what happened in the film. So you said about how the bad guys were terrorists and Iron Man had to team up with other superheroes to fight them and save the world. And what I really like is that you added onto the answer why you enjoyed it, which was excellent. So that is what we were talking about earlier when we said, you can add onto the answer to make it a stronger answer. So I like how you covered all of the points and then you summarized it, which was great. And you said, I liked it because I enjoy watching fight films. So great job.
Okay.
So let's move on. Do you often go to the cinema?
No. A long time that I go to cinema.
What do you prefer to do instead? Do you prefer to watch films at home? Or do you prefer to play video games rather than go and watch films?
I watch video game.
Good job. All right then. Do you think that watching films in English is useful?
Yes, I think it's useful because they can help me to learn English more English.
Great. That's a good answer. Okay. What are the most popular types of film among people that you know? What do your friends enjoy?
Again, please, I don't understand.
It's okay. So the word popular means something that lots and lots of people like, right? So the most popular movie in the cinema might be the film that everybody wants to go and see, that the most people like to go and see it. Something that is popular, right?
Yeah.
Pink is a popular color of clothing that people buy for baby girls. For girls. Pink might be a popular color for girls. So popular. So what are the most popular films among people that you know?
I think
What are popular films in Thailand?
Wonder Woman.
Great. And if you don't know, just make it up.
Captain America.
Great. So you could introduce that answer and say the most popular types of film among people that I know are Wonder Woman and Captain America.
Okay.
You see how full that answer was instead of just giving an example? Great. Do you think there is too much violence in films? Do you think there is too much violence in films?
What's mean of violence?
Where people shoot each other or fight. Too many guns or explosions. People dying.
I think have many violence. Have many films that have violence.
So there are many films with too much violence. Is that what you're saying?
Especially Iron Man or the Hulk.
What could they do instead? Could they have more comedy in the films instead of violence?
Let's have violence.
Great. So you see how you're saying, yes, there is too much violence in a lot of films. Instead, they could make better stories, or it could be funnier. So you're offering an alternative. You're offering something else that they could do. So you're not just answering the question and agreeing with it. You're not just saying, yes, there's too much violence in films. It's good to add something extra onto the answer.
Okay.
See how much time we have. Okay, you know what? We have probably done enough questions for today. You did very well. Work on how you pronounce your words. You need to pronounce your words in a more clearer way.
Okay.
With T's and S's and the. And make sure you just take your time. And it's just very, very important that when you answer the question, you are understood and you're not rushing or saying any words too fast. But your grammar is good. You just need to practice it. And maybe try and look up more words. So I like how you use some descriptive words, like you said delicious earlier when you were talking about food. I want to hear more interesting words from you. All right? So that is enough for today. That's the end of the lesson. Thank you very much, and just practice speaking more clearly. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye.
ค่ะ Bye.
Okay, Kirk. So I'm going to get those videos sorted for you by the 22nd and 23rd. And I'll send those to you, and then I'll speak to you on Friday. It's okay. That's okay. I was saying that I'll make sure I get those videos done for you for the 22nd and 23rd. And